So in this video, I'm gonna share with you how I made over $200,000 in royalties with Merch by Amazon. Royalties, profits, whatever you wanna call it. You will also get to know what Merch by Amazon is. How does it work? And what are the correct ways to do Merch by Amazon? Hi, my name is RJ Martinez, and I'm going to share with you some awesome information about Merch by Amazon and how you can get started with it right now. People that are interested in Merch by Amazon are always curious about the amount of money that you can make with it. Here I'm going to show you the amount I managed to make with Merch by Amazon and show you how to do it yourself. This is going to be more of a Merch by Amazon beginner-friendly video or tutorial to help you understand what I do. Make sure you watch this video to the very end. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. Let's get into it. Merch by Amazon is a fantastic idea for your print-on-demand business. There's several different ways that you can approach a print-on-demand business. There's not just Merch by Amazon. There's a ton of different ways. And then with Merch by Amazon, there are a ton of different ways to actually do the business model too. There's not just one way. At the very beginning, I was doing Amazon FBA, and I seen the opportunity with Merch by Amazon. I was doing Amazon FBA and I was flipping shoes, selling a lot of products, breaking my back. And then I was like, you know what? Let me put a few designs up on Merch by Amazon and see if they would sell. And then next thing you know it, they started selling, and I seen how fun it was and entertaining it was to me just to put up a design on a product and then it would sell. I wouldn't take care of none of the inventory, by the way. No inventory, no dealing with the customers, no shipping out the product. I was like, dude, this is very amazing. I can actually take all my focus on FBA and come over to Merch by Amazon and make a full-time income doing it. And I don't have to break my back. All right, so one of the ways that I hit over $200,000 in profit with Merch by Amazon is I focused on my strengths and what I'm good at, okay? One of my favorite things to do is research, okay? I enjoy doing research personally myself. I suck at designing, so I started outsourcing right off the bat. I built a relationship with a designer, and then we ended up working together. Like as of today, of me making this video, we've been working for about 4 years together. And he's a really awesome person, and we just built that relationship. And then from there, my workflow. The workflow is very, very important when it comes to all this stuff. And researching, okay, checking for trademarks, making sure that you're not infringing or just, stealing someone else's logo or any of that stuff, or using something that you're not allowed to use, okay? So if you go onto any of these websites where they're offering like, illustrations and stuff like that, if you sign up for a premium price, I kind of just pushed away from that and got an artist on the team to help me make custom illustrations. That way I'm not using the same illustrations everyone else is using. You have to think about, how are you gonna be different from your competition? How are you gonna be different from everyone else? That's so, so important. Now, as I'm fine tuning a lot of this stuff, right, as I'm making all the designs and making sure that, there's no trademarks and stuff like that, because if you do certain things against the terms and service for Merch by Amazon, you can get your account suspended, right? So this is one of the struggles as you start to grow and put more designs on your account. You want to make sure that you're on top of checking all the trademarks, okay? So that you can see how all the moving parts are all in place. Recently, I just hired someone to help me with double checking trademarks. Not only do I check them, but I have someone else double check them. It never hurts to double check for those, because one little mistake, and me saying this can get your account terminated, and you do not want that. So what is Merch by Amazon? Merch by Amazon is basically, you put up a design on a product, they print and ship it to the customer for you. And then if a customer doesn't like the product, they can return it. But you're not holding none of the inventory. You're not talking to the customer. You're not printing the shirts, so you're not doing none of that stuff. The most important part here is the research, the design part, okay? Checking for trademarks, stuff like that. That's the stuff that you're mainly focusing on. But Merch by Amazon is a freaking awesome opportunity for you to make, like, I want to say passive income, but you definitely have to double check it sometimes and making sure that you're following the rules, because when you come onto these new platforms, any of that stuff, you always want to follow the rules, or you can get in trouble. One of the biggest questions, right, is how to get approved. I have heard people get approved within a week. within 3 days. Me personally, myself, I got approved within like 3 months. So I think it was like day number 92, I logged in and I was like, oh, I'm approved. I didn't even get the approval email. So everyone's different when it comes to getting approved. And I don't know how these people are getting approved within that week or within 3 days or whatever it is. I heard some people get approved within a year. Okay, and then some people do not get approved at all. They get denied, okay? Just to make that very upfront with you. You may sign up and then you get denied. So what would you do? There's other platforms that you can sign up for, like Redbubble, you can do Etsy. The best opportunity for you to get approved is have an Amazon FBA account. Make sure you fill out all the blanks, all right? That's one of the most important things, okay? Do not leave nothing blank on that application because you can risk the chances of you not getting approved because of that. You're not taking it very seriously. Make sure you sound very professional when you fill out all the information for you to get approved. And showing some type of background with designing may help too as well. They see that you're an artist or they see that you have a few designs up on Redbubble or over on Etsy and you have a previous shop and you've been selling. That may be something that they can take into consideration, right? They really don't tell us. So just to be very clear, they really don't tell us that, but just all the researching and all that stuff that I've done over the years has helped me think about maybe this is what they're doing and just writing everything down. Maybe they're doing this to get the approval, right? Having an Amazon FBA account and filling out all the information, that seems to be one of the best ways to get approved on Merch by Amazon. All right, so the tier system, okay? When you first start off, you're at tier 1. You can only upload 10 designs. And then you go up to tier 25, then tier 100, then tier 500, tier 1000, tier 2000, and it goes on and on. Me personally, I'm at tier 200,000, all right? And that's in the higher tiers, of course, but I started off at tier with 10 designs. I can only upload 10 designs. And then I worked my way up and built my account up. I'm always a big fan of testing. So I'll put my prices at cost and get that momentum on my account to where, you know, if I have 100 sales, I want 200 sales, right? And then upload 80% of that, which would be 80 designs uploaded for me to get tiered up. Now they're messing with this a little bit, it seems like, because they're tearing people up just because they have the sales or they want to give them more room to put designs up. It seems like they have the sales for it, but they don't have the uploads and they just tear you up. Or they just see your account in a good standing, I want to say, and then they just tear you up. They don't tell us this information, by the way, but it just, you know, me, like I said, just researching and paying attention to it. Okay, so that right there, the tier system, some people get stuck in the lower tiers and they try to figure out how the heck they get out of there. There's several different ways that you can do that. You can make a design for somebody that you know what I mean? Be like, hey, I'm gonna make a product for you, design for you. You can purchase it yourself and send it to them, or you can share the link with them and hopefully they purchase it. Create a design for somebody. You can either reach out to a family or friend. You can even reach out to, like, these go to local churches, go to local schools, see if you can create them t-shirt design or something like that for the class or whatever it is. Maybe weddings, baseball teams. Pricing your product really low, you will definitely get an increase in sales. Tested this for like a good year on my account. When I'm done doing that, I'm just going straight to, you know, the price point of $19.99 for my standard t-shirts and kind of getting that $5 royalty on all my products. So getting on the lower tiers, you can just do that, right? Very easy, very simple, but applying everything that I talked about as far as keywords and stuff like that and research, very, very important. Some of the tools are out there that can help you with that type of stuff, but one of the most important things is learning how the customer is going to search to find your product. And the tier system is good because it prevents people from spamming. You know, we have some people that come onto the platform and they will actually like steal other people's designs, or what they would do is just infringe on someone else's brand and stuff like that. They don't read the rules. They just go in there and just take their information, take their design and create something and just leverage off their brand. And that's a no-no. That's one way to get in trouble on Merch by Amazon. Okay, so it's important that you go in and read all the rules before you start on any platform, okay? That applies to Redbubble, that applies to Etsy, any of these print-on-demand platforms. Make sure you understand the rules because they're giving you the opportunity to sell to their customers, right? And for you to make money. So it's like free money, but you can't just take advantage of the platform. They have rules and you have to learn them. Very important. How to design a t-shirt, how to make designs for these products. So say just a t-shirt, right? Me personally, I focus on a lot of t-shirts. I do sell other products on my account. So let's say you're designing for a product. It can be a t-shirt, pop socket, cell phone case or whatever it is, okay? Do not overthink this, okay? I see a lot of people make the mistake of they have to be the best artist or they have to have the best talent to make a certain design or an illustration. It can be a very simple text-based design that makes sales, and you can crush it with this text-based design. Some of the top sellers on Amazon are text-based designs, okay? So I have a video right here and I kind of go into more detail about that. You can check that out up there. But the text-based designs, they do really well, okay? Text-based design with the illustration does well. Illustration does well. So there's different ways, different types of designs that you can create, right? Depending on the individual itself. You watching this video depends how you want to go about this, okay? Funny new sayings for niches, different niches. What I mean by niches is like baseball, football, hobbies, anything with hobbies or interest that you can create a design for. A funny saying does well. Text-based design does really well. Don't overthink it. Just get to work and learn as best as possible how to create a good design that your customer wants. Not what you want, what your customer would want. All right, what tools can you use when it comes to designing for t-shirts? You can use Photoshop, you can use Illustrator, there's Infinity Designer, there's GIMP, there's Merch Designer inside of Merch Informer. Okay, and I know a few people that have used that, okay, and they're making over $10,000 a month consistently using that tool. There's the Over app. You can use that using your phone too as well, just by creating designs, stuff like that. But the point is all these tools pretty much, they do the same exact thing. It's all personal preference and what you think fits the best for you. The most important thing is just figuring out your workflow and how you're gonna attack your goals and how you're gonna accomplish them, right? And workflow is probably one of the most important things when it comes to doing all this, okay? Day one, I'm gonna research. Check, that means research. What does that mean? Checking for trademarks, researching the niche, researching for keywords. Day two, I'm going to design. Day three, I'm going to upload. Day four, make sure you go over everything and making sure that you got your workflow correctly. All right, so where can you get illustrations from? You can get illustrations from like Free Pick or Vexels, okay? I heard nothing but good things about Vexels. I use Free Pick for a little bit, okay? But the thing is here, you wanna make sure that it's okay for commercial use, okay? So when you're researching wherever you get your illustrations from, okay, you wanna make sure they're okay for commercial use. Okay, that's one of the main things with using any of the illustrations from any of these websites. You want to make sure it's okay and they're not stealing the illustrations from someone and uploading to the platform. So you always want to double check. Now, where would you get your fonts, right? There's a website called fontsquirrel.com. You can go on there and check out what fonts they have available. The same thing with this too as well. You want to make sure it's okay for commercial use. Whatever website that you go to or whatever you're using for these designs, you want to always double check to make sure it's free for commercial use, because you do not want to be breaking any of the rules, stealing someone else's, font or stealing someone else's illustration and then using it, and then you're not knowing that you're using it. You might be doing it on accident, you don't even know it. Okay, so it's always best that you double check and make sure that it's okay for commercial use. All right, so how to search a niche for like trademarks, okay? Before you start to research, you always want to double check for trademarks, right? Kind of keep that in mind as you're doing research. It's important that you do that, because if you don't, next thing you know, you create a design and then you get a rejection on your account. You're like, dude, I did all that work for no reason. Why? Why did I do all that work for no reason? And then next thing you know it, you get a rejection. So it's important that you do it before, as you're doing your research, you want to do the trademark checks as you're doing your research. So it kind of goes hand in hand. So you can do the research, you can find a good niche, and then all of a sudden it's trademarked. That phrase or saying is trademarked, right? So there's a tool that I recommend that you use. It is free. It's the Merch by Amazon Trademark Protection by Merch Informer, okay? I'll put that down below in the description. Download it, plug it into your Google Chrome extension, and that's gonna help you check for trademarks. And I have another video on that down below too as well, or I'll put it up here. You can check that out and see exactly how you would use that tool, as you're doing research, and it will save your account, and you don't have to worry about like, oh, is this design, borderline, or am I breaking the rules? Okay, so one of the things that I've always put in place for myself is, if I feel some type of way about a design, I will not put it up, okay? And then, there's some people where certain phrases will get trademarked and you already have the design up on your account. If I feel some type of way, I'll take it down. even if it has a ton of reviews. I've done it. You get mad. Of course you get mad. But there's times where I have a design up and it's like, dude, let me think about this. And then the day goes by, I'm like, all right, this is not worth risking my whole account right here. So I'm just gonna take off the design. So I take down the design, sad a little bit, but there's times that will happen. Okay, now, but the most important thing here is Amazon is giving us the opportunity to make money by leveraging their customers, right? So this is easy. All right, but just following the rules and making sure that you're, designing within the rules and the trademarks and stuff like that it's another game in itself, right? But you want to make sure that you're not breaking any of those rules. Okay, so trademark checks are just as important as the research itself. Now, creating a listing is just as important as the research, trademark checks, and creating the design. Okay, creating the listing, you have to understand that when you're doing your research, you can do keyword research too as well along with that niche, okay? Because if you don't have good keywords in your listing, okay, you're not gonna get traffic to your product. No traffic to your product means no sales. And keywords or keyword research is one of my favorite things to do too as well. I do make a lot of that about that on this channel. Having the exact phrases together in the brand or the title depends how you're gonna go about this. If you're creating your own brand on Amazon, you're just gonna put it underneath your brand. But as far as the keywords and the title, you can put some really solid good keywords in the title that will drive traffic to your product. Good traffic to your product means more sales, more money. And then you have your bullet points and then you have your description, right? And I see some people not even putting in descriptions and they're crushing it with their designs, right? So the title is a big important factor when it comes to ranking, and then the bullet points and the description next as far as like ranking on Google. Okay, so it all plays hand in hand. So if you have a top seller and then you're just getting a ton of traffic and you're making sales and you're generating those reviews on your product, the bullet points and description is gonna bring in more traffic to your product, right? But then you'll see some of these products that don't have no bullet points or description and they're just crushing it. So it kind of depends on how you wanna do this, what do you wanna focus on, what do you enjoy the most when you're putting a new listing or a new product on Amazon, Merch by Amazon, whatever you wanna call it. So it all depends on you. But best practices is figuring out how a customer wants to search to find your product and how are you gonna give them what they want. Think about it that way. Okay, when it comes to research, tools are probably gonna be one of the most important things, and an all-in-one tool is going to be Merch Informer, okay? You can do all the research, you can spy on your competitors, you can even design for products in the back, okay? So it's like an all-in-one tool. One of the things is you wanna go into a niche where you know yourself, because if you do that, it can make all the difference, because you can be number one when it comes to creating a design, and you're the first design up there because you know the new saying in the niche, because you know and breathe it, and you know what people are talking about in the blogs or in the threads or whatever it is, right? You know what your customer wants. So if you know a niche and you know you can make designs for that niche and be the best, do so. Take advantage of that. Be number one. So if you want to grow your business, I would definitely recommend you sign up for Merch Informer. The link will be down below in the description. So make sure you sign up and use my coupon codes and get an additional 20% off. It's a freaking amazing tool and it'll make a big difference in your business.